Hello.
Yes, sir.
I think we are good to go, sir.
கேக்குறதா?
கேக்குதுங்க sir. Sir, audible, sir. We can good to go. Now we will start it formally, and you can continue, sir.
இருங்க ஒரு நிமிஷம்.
Yeah. So I'll give an introduction, and probably we can then move on.
Go ahead.
Thank you. I think very good morning, students. So probably every time we had an virtual session that took from the international perspective, we will always have the initial glitches. I think the same we had it for the last 15 to 20 minutes. So I think again we need to see that this is a learning experience. Every time we have a problem, we need to solve it, right? So quickly we had all the changes, right? So this is a learning. I think with this learning, so it's my time. I mean, utmost duty and responsibility. So to welcome our guest of this session. So we have the very eminent professor from Texas Tech University. I think you all would have, come across the Texas Tech University is one of the premier universities, right, for our textiles, right. So we have different top universities across the right globe, but Texas Tech is one of the premier university because they are much popular for the cotton, right. You all should have come across that. Cotton is much appreciated. It is one of the raw material, right? We all use it in our day-to-day thing, right? That cotton is very, very popular for the cultivation, right? The season. So it is there in US, right? So Texas Tech is there in US. So you need to understand that we have an eminent professor, Professor Seshadri Ramkumar, right? From the Texas Tech, right? So I think welcome you, sir, on behalf of our management. Our department, textile department, and as well as textile cluster, and all the faculty members, and our dear students. I think it's our pleasure to welcome you for the next 1 to 2 hours this master class session. So thank you. Thanks for your presence, sir. So very short introduction about our speaker. So he is a professor at Texas Tech University. And he is more on the material science and more on expertise in technical textiles and more contributing towards the marine applications, right? It's part of technical textiles. And he is also very strong in the healthcare applications and filtration applications. So these are the areas that he is very expertise. And you could see that he has even had one of earlier sessions on life savings, right, through the advanced textiles. So those sort of continuous right sessions happened from him, so across the world. I think with that context, I think it's our pleasure to have him here. And so quickly, another major announcement is in the starting of the year, we had AATCC Student Chapter, right? So as a KCT Textile Department students, you have the privilege, right? Our Textile Department is the AATCC Student Membership we have secured, right? So we like place our record. Thanks to Professor Seshadri Ramkumar sir for initiating this initiative. So through his support and guidance, we are able to have secured the first international students chapter in textile department in our KCT. I think you should all applause, right? Thank you. So we had again we need to make more activities. So we take this occasion as the inaugural So we have a session by right our Professor Seshadri Ramkumar on cotton materials and non-wovens, right, and its applications in various technical textiles, right. So this is the first inaugural activity under AATCC Students Chapter, right. So I think with that introduction, once again welcome you, sir. The floor is yours. So I think you can go with the your session. Thank you.
Well, good morning, friends. Professor Saravanan, Professor Pavendan, and other faculty colleagues. I know it's been early morning, and then I think you have been asked to sit for an hour and a half to two, but I'll try to make this presentation as interesting as possible. And I also want to thank the KCT management for supporting the establishment of AATCC, which stands for American Association of Textile Chemists and Colorists Student Chapter. And as Professor Saravanan alluded to, it is not only the first time KCT has formed the chapter, but in Tamil Nadu, KCT is the first engineering institute to form the student chapter. So that gives KCT a lot of global visibility. Through this AATCC, you will be able to obtain small research grants. And more importantly, two major benefits for the students who will become members and who are already members. First, it will get you an opportunity to meet members from all over the world. You can ask them to come for such events at your college via online programs. That way, it will help to get connected with international brands and international companies who are members like Nike, Adidas, SDL Atlas. All these brands are members of AATCC. So that gives more opportunity for students to engage globally and to see the opportunity of finding jobs. The second thing is, most of you would have some background in textiles and you might come from the family of textiles. Your parents must be owning some industry in Tirupur, Coimbatore, Palladam, etc. With now India establishing free trade agreements with United Kingdom, and EU is on the verge, and we are still waiting to hear a concrete agreement between United States and India, quality becomes an important factor. And AATCC is a world's premier institution that sets standards and testing methods. So people from Tirupur and Coimbatore and other areas in Tamil Nadu and elsewhere in India, due to stringent quality requirements in these free trade agreements, it will be very helpful for you and the industry to get connected with a global body like AATCC. And I understand there are about 35 students already registered as a member. I would welcome each one of you to become a member. And Professor Saravanan is the coordinator at your institute, and he will be able to provide more information. And when I come next time, or somebody comes on behalf of AATCC, I would like to see more memberships from the textile department, fashion department, and also chemistry and engineering department. So I again thank the management and particularly the enthusiasm of your department chair, Professor M. Saravanan. Very dynamic, very enthusiastic, and without his support and also the support of your international unit and your dean, Professor Pavendan, we would not even have formed the unit. And I just want to let you know that your institute is the first institute. There are 4 institutes in Tamil Nadu who are the members, and you are the first institute to start a dedicated student chapter. So please try to avail all the benefits of AATCC, and you may be able to get small scholarships and research grants to conduct research, travel to international conferences, meet people, and hopefully through those connections, you will be able to find jobs. With that, I once again thank you, and I know that students have been asked to sit for 2 hours. We will try our best to make this class interactive. And thank you, Professor Saravanan, again. Okay, I have been asked to talk about nonwovens and cotton in technical textiles. What is my lab doing? Our lab is known as Nonwovens and Advanced Materials Lab. It is situated in Lubbock, which is one of the largest cotton producing. Like Coimbatore is a spinning, it's a hub for spinning. Tirupur is hub for knitting, and Noida and other places, Ludhiana are for knitting and textile machinery. Lubbock is known for its cotton production. It's the world's largest cotton producing area in one contiguous area. That means farms are situated next to each other. So that is the reason I am at Texas Tech University, and it is my 27th year at Texas Tech University, and my connection with Kumaraguru College goes back to December of 1998. And only one professor is still there. Others have retired or gone elsewhere. Professor Govindan Ramakrishnan of Fashion Technology is still there. So I came to Kumaraguru in December of 1998 and established some collaboration with Kumaraguru. And I'm very glad that Professor Saravanan, M. Saravanan, is the one who had pushed this collaboration to this state. So thank you. So we work on filters. Our lab works on sustainable materials. Our lab works on wipes and nanofibers. So we focus, of course, we do not focus on spinning, knitting, and weaving, but we focus on the technical aspects. And more importantly, we are trying to get sustainable materials into technical textiles. So our lab is Nonwovens and Advanced Materials Lab, and it is part of Texas Tech University, which is like Anna University, AC Tech, more or less that level. Okay, where is the industry moving? As I already alluded to, with the creations of more FTAs with Australia, with New Zealand, with UAE, quality becomes an important factor, and people are more and more interested in sustainable materials, those materials that can naturally degrade, decompose, and those are compostable. So the industry is moving towards sustainability. That means, how do you take natural products and put it into textile? Of course, Coimbatore is heavily into spinning cotton. And how to create new products and markets. Of course, we cannot compete with Bangladesh. Bangladesh also has free trade agreements. Bangladesh and Vietnam and Turkey, Pakistan, these are all our competing countries with regard to commodity textiles. So we have to create new products and markets. And when we are creating new products and markets, those have to be cost effective also. So what do? As I told you, our lab works on 4 main themes: filters, advanced materials, nanofibers, and wipes. All these are aimed at improving the human lifestyle, protecting human lives, and protecting the environment. Our lab becomes internationally more visible during COVID times because we developed several different varieties of face masks, and I will try to show you, and I will also do you a demonstration, and you can interrupt me because to conduct a class 2 hours is not an easy task for me at a goal. Also, I don't want you to sit for 2 hours. So if you make it interactive, it will be very helpful. So our lab works on new products from fibers, and we are trying to take cotton and other natural fibers into technical textiles and advanced materials. So what do we do? Our goal is to develop sustainable barrier material or protective materials to reduce environmental impact, because your Professor Saravanan asked me to talk about cotton. So technical textiles are predominantly made out of polypropylene, polyester, aramid, high molecular weight polyethylene. All these are predominantly derived from petroleum. So when you are deriving it from petroleum, carbon emissions will be there. So you are basically loading the environment with carbon. So it creates environmental burden. So our aim is to see we can't replace every synthetic material with natural fiber in technical textile. It is not possible. But at least what we are trying to do is we are trying to increase the amount of natural fibers consumed. So by minimizing plastic, and then the other major problem which Tirupur industry faces is pollution and plastic. What do you do? How do you dump this plastic? What do you do? How do you make sure that the plastic what you dump in the environment is recycled, reused? And so by minimizing the plastic waste, we are able to mitigate pollution. Until we have come up with a concept. There is a concept in United States that if you are developing a new vaccine or if you are developing a new medicine, it should not only be used for human beings, it should also be used for animals, it should also be applicable to the broader ecosystem so that the cost is reduced. It is called One Health system. So we are trying to use textile materials to find application in One Health systems. So as I told you, cotton finds application as a commodity product, but we are trying to use cotton as a valuable, life-saving and environmental protection product. So what are we doing to do? So we will show you example how cotton is made into a technical textile that will protect the environment. Cotton and the blends of cotton, can cotton and blends of cotton be used in developing defense material, personal protective equipment material, PPEs, and then medical products. Defense products and medical products are mostly made out of synthetics, polypropylene, aramids, high molecular weight polyethylenes, so on and so forth. It is not possible to replace all those because applications are functional oriented. So what has been the impetus? So textile used to be just to protect modesty. That has shifted with development of new firefighting garments, development of new body armors, development of chemical and biological warfare protective garments, and more recently after 2019 and 2020 COVID pandemic, of course, face masks, wipes, and so on and so forth. One important thing advanced countries missed is to have a thorough supply chain of face masks. So face masks have become an important product, not only to protect humans from viruses and bacteria, but also from air pollution. In India, if you take Gurgaon and New Delhi are known for their air pollution. So people have started using face masks. Face masks are predominantly made using polypropylene. Can we put some amount of cotton into that? That is my research. And why protective materials have played an important role is because roughly about so many millions have suffered out of COVID pandemic. If you look at the death scenario, it's in millions globally, the number of people who died. And one of the earlier form of protection came from face masks. Then only the vaccines came. So face masks became globally known because they served as an earlier barrier material to give protection. So the global death has been around 6 million people. And then if you look at outdoor pollution, it is about 9 million people die. And then when you compare that, roughly about 7 million people have died out of COVID. Similar size is the size of the university. It is 15-20 times size of the KCT campus. So American universities are big. So it is very important. How do we develop products? So if you are a BTech student, probably if some may own a company, you may want to develop new products. How do you develop new products? Technical textiles are developed based on this formula 4S, S as in sugar or S as in Sangeeta, whatever it is. So you have to first sense, so what should I develop? What should my company make? Then based on that, you should model. how much each product will cost. You would study this in your project management in the 4th year. Most of you are finals. So this you would have already studied. So it is modeling or forecasting. First, sense. What is the requirement? We now know, apart from knitting garments, apparels, in India, people are putting more thrust on technical textiles. So we have already sensed the need. And then what products in the technical textile sector you need to make, that is modeling or forecasting or shaping. Then when you model, okay, I want to develop a personal protective equipment, I want to develop a body armor, then two applications emerge, whether it is just used to protect the human beings or environment, use and throw, or these textile materials will be able to not only protect, but also it will sustain you to carry on. If you are in a war field, you need to have a chemical protective wipe to protect you from the toxic chemical. Once you wipe your body using these wipes, using against chemical warfare, you will be able to sustain and move on until you are getting some medicines or medical countermeasures. So this formula, 4S, sense, shape, sustain, shield. This you have to remember like mantra. So new materials yield to new application, and one great value BTEX and MTEX can bring to the table in the textile sector is to add sustainability. Sustainability doesn't simply mean materials. Sustainability is energy sustainability, economic sustainability. So you have to make a product which can compete against Bangladesh, which can compete against Vietnam, which can compete against Turkey. So that is known as economic sustainability. Then environmental sustainability is, of course, using natural materials, and energy sustainability. You also have to make the product using less energy. So all these are important. So this is what we call, like I said, I always give simple formulas. So if you have to develop a new product, you need to have 4S: sense, shape, shield, and sustain. Similarly, sustainability goals are economic sustainability, how to make the product cheap, how to make a product with less energy, energy sustainability. How do you make a product which will not put too much carbon load again, environmental sustainability. And then the elemental sustainability, I call it as manufacturing sustainability. Can you make this product in a cost cutting fashion? That is elemental, environmental, energy, and economic. So all these you will see. Now, among the different techniques to produce technical textiles, of course, woven materials and knitted are used, but technical textiles are predominantly single use and throw, for lack of a better term. So if you have to get a product made which can be used one time and thrown away, you can't think about lengthy processes like spinning, knitting, and weaving. So the process called nonwovens, most of you would have read that, nonwovens technology. So nonwovens processes, there are different types of machines in nonwovens. Needle punching, thermal bonding, spun melting, melt blown, spun bond. So you have to choose depending upon the functionality. So nonwovens is at the intersection between textiles. They are neither 100% textile, they are neither 100% paper, they are neither 100% plastic, because now we are trying to bring sustainability. So nonwovens lies in the intersection. So where these nonwovens are used? So this is one of the common product we know. This is a makeup removal wipe. So this is a de-makeup wipe. It's packaged. It has some chemical formulation. It is a wet wipe. So these are nothing but wipes. Wipes are categorized as hygiene products. And then the drapes, surgical drapes and gowns, those are medicals. And then sorbents. So this is a cotton. Now, Professor Saravanan asked me to give you some example. I'll show you some demonstration. So this is cotton. Most of you would be familiar with this because it is cotton. You know this. This is non-bleached cotton. It's just a plain, clean cotton obtained from a bale. So most of you would know what a bale is, cotton bale. So just mechanically cleaned. You see that it doesn't have a white color. it still has a gray color. So that shows that we have not added any chemical here. It's a It's just a mechanically cleaned cotton. That is why you don't see this shining white, which you see in your medical gauze. So cotton is made using a technology called needle punching. As I have told you, needle punching is one of the most versatile form of making a non-woven fabric. Now I'm trying to bring non-wovens and cotton into technical textile application. So that is the topic I'm asked to talk. So this is nothing but a wipe or a sorbent or an absorbent made using 100% cotton. Mechanically, what did I say? So we should have 4 E's. Environmental sustainability. Cotton is environmentally friendly. You can throw it in the landfill. Because cotton is nothing but a cellulosic material, it will degrade over a period of time. So it has environmental sustainability. Then I said that we should reduce the cost of production. So we are not using any bleach. Any chemical is not used. Simply cotton, mechanically clean. So you have that environmental sustainability. Then economic sustainability. Then third one is elemental sustainability. I'm not spinning, I'm not weaving, I'm not making into a woven fabric. I'm making it into a non-woven fabric, and that too using one of the commonly available non-woven method, needle punching technology. Once you have this, so elemental sustainability is there, economic sustainability is there, environmental sustainability is there, and since I'm not using blow room, I'm not using spinning, I'm not using carding, we are reducing the amount of energy consumption. So this product, this 100% cotton product, which is just mechanically cleaned, is going to find application to clean the environment. If there is an oil spill, toxic oil spill, it happens every month, every day, in fact, in some part of the world. So now the wars are only fought because of the oil. You could see what is going on now, that the oil prices are shooting up. So in that situation, if there is any accident, when these oils are transported in huge tankers, if there are any accidents, the oil spill into the ocean, how do you remove those oil? Because this oil is crude oil, it is not coconut oil, or it is not gingerly oil. These oils are crude oil, which is known to cause cancer. So we are trying to take this cotton product, ordinary cotton product made using needle punching technology, into a value added technical textile which saves lives and which protects the environment. Okay, keep that in mind. Now I'm going to, these are all so many products you could think of in non-wovens. It is not your undergarment, it is not your denim fabric. We talk about lot of products. If you look at this slide, most of these products are single use. So when there is single use, the consumption of raw material will increase. So when people want to buy, use and throw, they are not willing to pay more products, more cost. So when they are not willing to pay more cost, the responsibility of the industry is to use techniques and technologies and manufacturing processes so that the cost of the products is reduced. That is what non-wovens technology are for. Now, having said that, our laboratory was the first one to show discounted cotton. Most of you are in textiles, so you would have known how cotton is graded. Cotton is graded using high volume instrumentation. So it grades cotton based on its length, strength, uniformity, contamination, and micronair. Micronair is the unit for maturity. So higher mature cotton, it will take up more dye. Low mature cotton, low micronair cotton will not be able to take more dye. If it is not taking more dye, weaving mills are not interested in paying more for that cotton. So what do you do with those cotton which doesn't take dye, which cannot be printed as equal to those done using good cotton? So we can use that cotton to develop single use product like this wipe we said. So this was one of the first work which shows that discounted cotton or low microner cotton can absorb more crude oil than synthetic material, than polypropylene material. And we were the first one to show and prove using crude oil, toxic crude oil, that cotton is a very valuable raw material to develop technical textiles. So I said that we developed a wipe which is very soft and which is flexible, and this will help to control microplastic pollution. One of the greatest pollution now the world faces is, of course, air pollution. A second one is plastic pollution, that too microplastic. When you are using a synthetic polyester blended garment, put it in the washing machine. Previously, we used to wash with our hands, so we didn't exert that much pressure on clothes. Fiber did not disintegrate. But now we are using heavy washers. Every house has a washing machine. Probably in India we may not have a dryer, but all houses have washing machines. So the clothes are subjected to a lot of mechanical agitation. When the blended clothes and polyester and synthetic clothes are subjected to mechanical agitation, they leave fine plastic particles in the stream, in the water, wastewater. So that get into human body, that gets into marine environment. So if somebody is consuming fish, the fish that already has microplastic gets into your body. And now people have found that these microplastics are there in human brain and lung and liver. So that is very dangerous. So we have to get out of synthetics as much as we can. And so far, the common absorbent which is used to soak up the oil, which used to wipe toxic oil, is made out of polypropylene fibers like this, plastic fibers. So now these plastic fibers yield to many microfibers, which are known to be hazardous to human health. So what we did, instead of this plastic, you can see the color contrast. That is polypropylene, white polypropylene, shining polypropylene, whereas we are using cotton, gray cotton. That shows that it's kind of a brand. The gray color is the brand for mechanically cleaned cotton. Now, I am trying to replace these synthetic fibers, which you see on the screen, with this cotton material. Okay. Now, so why we need this? Oil spill is a health and environmental issue. As I told you, most of the absorbents that are used are made out of polypropylene using a process called meltbrown. And these meltbrowns are not bonded. They are very loose compared to other bonding methods. So there is chance of giving away microplastic is more. So microplastic issue is causing problem not only to human, to aquatics and marine organisms. So it is very important that we use cotton, and cotton can be expensive. So we found that if you use a cotton which is discounted, how do you get low microner cotton? You get low microner cotton if the plant doesn't mature. The plant doesn't mature if it's so hot. Now, in United States, cotton is grown only one time a year, May through November. They plant it in May and harvest in October, November. So June, July, August is a summer time, 3 months behind India. So it is very hot. Most of days are 37 to 40 degrees centigrade. If you don't get enough rain that year, and the sun temperature is about 37 degrees centigrade to 40 degrees centigrade or even above, the plant doesn't mature well. When the plant doesn't mature well, harvest doesn't happen. And even if harvest happens, the sugar content, the cellulosic content of cotton fiber will be less. So those cotton fibers will be discounted. So we are taking those cotton. You can see actual field in Lubbock during hot summer day. This is dry land. This is rain-fed land. So if we are not talking about irrigated land, we are talking about rain-fed. So it more and more cotton will fall into the low discounted cotton or low microner cotton. So we are using that cotton. That means what the spinning industry doesn't give more value to that cotton, we are using that cotton. So what did I say? Elemental sustainability. We are trying to get the raw material 10% cheaper cost, or 5 to 10%, or even 15% cheaper. So when you are starting with a raw material which is natural, which is cheaper, and we are using a technique called needle punching, one of the cheapest form of investment in technical textile is needle punching. So all the story come and tell a nice picture here. Everything converges so that you are able to use all environmental sustainability, elemental sustainability, economic sustainability, and energy sustainability to develop a cotton-based technical textile which saves and protects the environment. When it protects the environment, human life is also enhanced. So this is what we do. So we are taking low microner cotton. The cotton you see at the lower left-hand side compared to high mic cotton, you can see the difference. High mic cotton has more thickened individual fiber. This is a cross section as against low microner cotton 3.1 to 4.2. When there is not much cellulose deposition, the cotton fibers will shrink. When the cotton fibers shrink, they become finer, they become smaller. When they become smaller, you can pack more fibers in a given area compared to normal or high microner cotton. When you are able to pack more fibers in a given area, the surface area increases. When the surface area increases, it helps to absorb the toxic chemical. Okay, this is for science. So we have used many type of cotton, and our interest is to show low microner cotton. The lower the number, look at the second column, microner column, the lower the number, the less mature it is. When it is less mature, you are able to get that cotton relatively cheaper. So 3.1 to 4.6 is the range, and 3.1 is lower microner. What we have to show, lower the microner of the cotton or lower the maturity of the cotton fiber, higher will be the absorption. So let's see how that results come. So when it comes to low microner, what did I say? It becomes finer, finest number. You can see that it's 149 as against 4.6 with 175 millitex. So it's finer, it's like denier. Finer the fiber means smaller denier. So already we have shown that low microner cotton will give rise to finer fiber. When you have finer fiber, you are able to pack more cotton in the same area. Now, this is the experiment we did. It is not an ordinary cooking oil. It is a crude oil. It will give some smell and which is toxic. If you are prone to inhale these toxic oil for a prolonged time, it will lead to cancer over a period of years. So this is the experimental setup. We use a gravimetric method to show the absorption of crude oil onto cotton, onto low microner cotton. So this is the test method we refined. That's what I said. AATCC comes to picture in developing all these tests to make it standardized. Okay, so you take a crude oil, take small quantity of cotton, soak it into the crude oil for 5 minutes. Then take that cotton and then drain it for 2 to 3 minutes, so that you are actually measuring only the amount of oil absorbed into the cotton. So we know the bone dry weight of the cotton before soaking. Now we know the weight of the cotton with oil after soaking. The difference calculated as a percentage gives the amount of oil absorbed by the cotton. Okay, this is the principle. Now I'm going to show you. So seeing is believing. Are you able to see the slide and hear me? Okay, now I'll show you how
Yes,
this
yes, yes, sir,
experiment.
yes, sir.
Okay,
Students are
now I'm
listening.
going to show you the demonstration. So make sure, tell me if you are not able to see the actual demonstration. So this is the exact setup. So assume that this is a seabed. And then I'm adding water and I'm tilting to resemble the movement of waves in the ocean or the sea. Okay. So this is a clean sea with no oil contamination. Are you able to see this? Are you seeing this? Hello?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay. Now, I'm using motor oil. Most of you drive car, so you know this. This is a standard motor oil, non-detergent motor oil. I'll pour some oil. You can see this. Oil is less dense than water. So no matter how much oil you pour, the oil will come and stand on the surface. Okay, it will not mix. Now, this is the cotton, mechanically cleaned cotton wipe I told you. I did not do any chemistry there. I did not do any chemical treatment. It's just regular cotton, non-bleached, non-scoured, just made into a non-woven fabric. Then I'm just putting it in the oil. And if you take simply, I'll show you demonstration of a cellulose pulp. So it will not sink no matter how long it lasts. Whereas if you take your tissue paper or if you take your cotton towel which has been bleached, it will sink. So I'm just doing agitation as if to resemble the movement of waves. Still it is not sinking. And when I remove this wipe, you can see it will only pick up oil and it will drain water out. I can reuse it. Still it is, see, when it has picked up the oil, already the weight increases. When the weight increases, the gravity should pull it down, but still it is still floating. Why? I'll come to the reason. So I have shown you that mechanically cleaned cotton just made into a non-woven. Cotton plus non-woven made into a technical textile which protects environment. So this is one of the inventions from our lab. Still it is soaking. Now if I show you, it would have picked up the entire oil. See? Only few drops left. All oil is absorbed into this wipe, heavy. I'm still putting it. Still it will not sink. Okay, cotton, non-woven, made into a technical textile. Now, I'll show you, I'll contrast this with another cellulose. What is this? Tissue paper. Okay. I'm using a small amount of tissue paper. See, instantaneously it sinks and it will disintegrate, whereas this cotton is not disintegrating. So the tissue paper which we use for daily cleaning is of no use to remove oil. Mechanically cleaned cotton, look, it is sinking down. See, if I do the agitation, you can see the tissue paper is slowly going down. When it is going down, how will you pick up? It's difficult. Whereas the cotton is still floating. So what you saw on the slide, I have demonstrated to you. So this is the advantage. So think sustainable, cotton is sustainable. What do you do with this cotton that has oil in it? Take it, throw it in the landfill. Cotton is biodegradable and the oil gets eaten by bacteria. And then bacteria excretes. When the bacteria excretes, it becomes manure, nitrogen rich. So it is telling a good story that you can take cotton, not all products can be made. You can take cotton and then find applications wherever it is possible to give functionality. We are not interested in the color of the cotton. No, we are not interested. We are only interested in the functional aspects of cotton. That is one example. What I should show, I should show the low microner cotton 3.1 compared with the regular cotton of 4.4. 3.1 should absorb more oil. You see this. Why? Because I already told you 3.1 microner cotton has higher fineness. When the fineness is more, you can shrink more cotton in a given area. When you are shrinking more cotton in a given area, the surface area increases. When the surface area increases, adsorption and absorption increases. Physical chemistry. So we published this in American Chemical Society journal. First ever work to show low microner or discounted cotton can pick up more oil than even regular cotton or even synthetic fiber, and that became global news all over the world. People picked up, and you can see we could correlate low microner cotton has a higher wax. When it has higher wax, the wax will stick to the oil and it will separate oil from water. So all these have been proven, and this is the mechanism. First ever scanning electron microscope to show that individual cotton fibers not only hold the oil on the surface, they also sunk it in. So that's why you can see a single fiber blossoming into a balloon. So it becomes like a crucible. It becomes like a vessel which will hold the oil. So that is the reason oil is held by cotton. Low microner cotton, higher surface area. The wax on the cotton helps to repel oil and water, and then it gets absorbed, and each individual cotton fiber is able to hold oil. So you could see that individual beautiful environmental scanning electron microscopy to show that the oil gets absorbed at the elemental level, individual level. And this is the difference between a low microner cotton and a regular cotton. Low microner cotton, there is no cellulose deposition. When there is no cellulose deposition, it collapses. That is the reason if the microner is less, you would know in spinning that the end breaks will be more. So that is the reason spinning industry do not want low microner cotton. And we have, and this product, the beauty is this. The idea came from me and our lab, but I have collaborated with Jayalakshmi Textiles in Aruppukkottai. Can you believe? They are 100% cotton spinning mill, but they wanted to develop new products using their cotton, waste cotton. So we commercialize this with the help of Jayalakshmi Textile. The left-hand side is the cotton, right-hand side is the synthetic material. So we developed this collaboration between United States and India, and Jayalakshmi Textiles in Aruppukkottai, 100% fine count spinning mill is developing this product. So 100% sustainable oil absorbent mat, oil absorbent technical textiles. And then how did I prove? We proved that you see in any thermal plants or nuclear plants, whatever it is, they use a lot of transformers. Energy, because they have to transport energy, oil and all. So the transformers, to cool those transformers, they keep it in oil. And when the heat becomes more, the oil starts spilling away. And this is a thermal power plant near Ennur in Chennai. So we have done some field studies using 100% cotton material. So what they do, they simply take those oil which has been leaked out of transformer and also from the tanks, and then dump it in a pit. And this is a toxic oil, so it fumigates and it creates a lot of pollution. So they were using straw, wet coal. But then when they heard about our technology, we did field studies. We did field studies to show that it can pick up oil, 100% crude oil, and we have already proved this in ONGC basins in Tiruvarur. So oil and natural gas commission people have already evaluated our technology. So this is one classical example. I told you, because the science was good, it has practical application. And many news channels picked up. Very rare results from textile get to this kind of visibility. The Economist published from London, American Chemical Society's podcast, Guardian newspaper, one of the topmost newspaper on par with Hindu or Times of India. And then everywhere, cotton offers a new ecological friendly technical textile to protect the planet from oil spill. And they made a podcast, and that student, Vinit Kumar Singh, is now having a senior product development post in a big white company. So that's one example to show that cotton in non-woven form can be made into technical textiles in an environmentally friendly way, which can protect the environment and save human lives. Okay. Any questions? Dr. Saravanan, you can entertain any questions, and then I will start the next phase, and we'll wrap it up by in 45 minutes. So original time of 10:30 or 10:45, we will wrap it up.
Yeah.
Any
Yes, sir.
question?
Thank you. Yeah. Any questions? As of now?
Kekkardillaya, you are able to hear, no? Hello? Saravanan?
Yes, sir. I am here, sir. I am here.
Did you all see the demonstration? Demonstration தெரிஞ்சுதா? Hello? Saravanan?
So they would like to see the demonstration, sir. Yeah, yes.
தெரிஞ்சது இல்லையா புரிஞ்சது இல்லையா பார்த்தா இல்லையா
Sir,
பார்த்தாங்களா
ஒரே நிமிஷம் sir. Please wait a minute. Questions இருக்கான்னு கேட்டுட்டு இருக்கேன். Just a minute, sir. Please.
இல்ல இல்ல அந்த டெமான்ஸ்ட்ரேஷன் பார்த்திருக்காங்கல்ல
பார்த்துட்டாங்க சார் எல்லாருமே. It is observed by all the students, sir.
ஓகே ஓகே
எல்லாருமே பார்த்துட்டு இருக்காங்க. Whatever you do, they were observing it. Like you done 2 demonstrations. Both the demonstrations have been observed by the students. Yeah, yes.
So this is the one which fits with your class, cotton, non-woven and technical textiles. So part 1 முடிச்சிட்டேன்.
Yes, sir. Sir, there is a student. So she has a question, sir. Yeah.
Morning,
Yes,
sir.
கேளுங்க. மைக் கிட்ட
Sir,
வந்து கேளுங்கம்மா.
Sir, how much oil it absorbs, sir?
Very good. Very good. பாருங்க இங்க. பாருங்க இங்க. The motor oil எடுத்தோம்னா about 1 gram of cotton will absorb 50 times its weight. That means 50 gram of oil. This is motor oil. And similarly, when you take higher micronair, the amount of oil absorbed will be less. It's around 40. Whereas the low micronair cotton absorbs 50. 1:50. 1:40, 42. So 1 gram of cotton is able to absorb 50 times its weight. 1:50. That means if there are 200, assume that 200 grams of oil, then divided by 50. So only 4 gram of cotton you have to put. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Any other questions, ma'am? So again, I think you all should know that. So you have listened to all the basic things as well as the demonstration. So I think that's a good question. So probably anything like what type of non-woven structure, anything you want to ask, you can ask.
This is needle punching. I hope you had already studied non-woven. So needle punching, needle punching is only for staple fibers. You blend polyester, you blend cotton, you blend polypropylene, and then pass it through cord. But this cord is woolen carding. So you know carding, but this is a woolen carding. So you take this fiber and make it into a bat. And then you bond it using needles. Hence the name needle punching. So this is needle punching. So needle punching is the cheapest form of making non-woven. So we are using the cheapest form of non-woven material, needle punching. Anything else? And do you know what is the process these wipes are made? What is this? What is this? What is this product? Are you able to see this? Yeah, wipes, but what is this? Yes, this is a wipe, wet wipe. What is this? What is this material? Wet wipes are made using 70% viscose, 30% polyester. And the weight is roughly about 30 GSM. And that technology to make this wipe is not needle punching. Needle punching is thick. You can see the difference between these two. This is thick material, minimum 100 GSM or sometimes 80 GSM. Whereas for wipe, facial wipe, is makeup remover. This one is polyester viscose. And it is made by a costly technology known as spun lace or water entanglement. So the fiber should not have any impurities, otherwise it will choke the nozzle. Water is pumped at a very high pressure through nozzles, and that creates fine droplets, and that forces the fiber onto each other and they bond. So this is known as spun lace. Industry term is spun lace, but the technology term is water entangling, whereas this one is needle punching. So as the name goes, needle punching means you bond the fiber using needles, whereas in spun lace, you use high pressured water jet to bond fibers. Okay. Okay. Shall we move to the next thing? The difference between needle punching and Saravanan, புரிஞ்சது இல்லையா உங்களுக்கு இல்ல ஸ்டூடண்ட்ஸ்
சார் புரியலங்க சார்
புரிஞ்சது இல்லையா பசங்களுக்கு நான் டிஃபரன்ஸ் between the non
what sir your yeah it's understood sir yes
okay do you know what time it is for me யாரா ஸ்டூடண்ட் சொல்ல முடியுமா midnight for me 12 midnight for me on Wednesday night. So your professor Saravanan has given me, he had given me a kind of a punishment. So it is around 12 midnight for me on Wednesday night. So anyway, I'm very happy to be. So one aspect I have covered. Now let's go to medical and hygiene. What is this application? இப்ப நம்ம பார்த்த ப்ராடக்ட் உடைய அப்ளிகேஷன் என்ன? I'm talking about this spun lace. What is it? Don't say it is wiping or makeup removal. It is basically hygiene. Such products are known as hygiene products. Makeup போடுறதுக்கு ஒரு wipe, makeup removerக்கு ஒரு wipe, oily skin wipe பண்றதுக்கு ஒரு wipe. And so more and more when you are talking about these hygiene products, how you package and sell them matters. This is one of the cheapest one. That all the So this is the cheapest form. Whereas when you go to high-end brand, you see the difference in package. That's what sells. Your technical textile is functional. And then it also has to appeal to the consumer. So the higher the spectrum poga, the change only happens in packaging. There's not much change in the technology. Ulukula rendu wipe onnuda. But how they have packaged it, how many wipes they put it in a single package, those all matters. So this is a Dettol based brand and this is a high-end brand. You can see the difference in the package. Okay, so these hygiene related non-wovens are predominantly blends of polyester and viscose, viscose rich polyester viscose blended wipes made using spun lace, and all are basically having a chemical formulation in them, and although you have to seal them. You can see this opening airtight moodi vekkanu. So all the hygiene wipes have wet formulation, wet, some chemical. Enna chemical? What is the chemical? So this is technical textile. So you need to have chemistry understanding. And why we should go for technical textile? Can any student answer? So Indian textile industry, particularly Tirupur and Erode எல்லாம் dyeing finishing. Perundurai and the Sipcot இருக்கு இல்லையா? And Tirupur is all knitting, okay? But what is the difference between a wipe and a knitted garment? Undergarment kum wipe ku enna vityasam? Don't tell that undergarment we wear under the cloth, wipe we use it for wiping. What is the difference between a knitted product and a wipe? Why India is putting too much emphasis on technical textiles? Have you studied non-wovens and technical textiles so far? Final year students. படிச்சிருக்காங்களா சார்?
படிச்சிருக்காங்க சார். Yes sir.
சரி. இப்போ why
I mean fabric formation 1 and fabric formation 2 இருக்கு. So fabric formation 1 வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா more on weaving centric-ஆ இருக்கும். Fabric formation 2 வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா other fabric production types la வந்து non-wovens, even they will have some modules on braiding also. ஏன்னா knitting வந்து செப்பரேட்டா இருக்கும் சார். They will have a separate subject.
சரி, knitting எடுத்துக்கோங்க. Knitted garment why? And then second point, why is government of India putting more interest in technical textile? யாருக்கா தெரியுமா? Also, one important news, maybe Professor, you should be very thankful to Professor Saravanan, one of the very enthusiastic chairman, head of the department I have seen. So you are lucky to have him. Ipa, we are also offering, ipa na edukken illaya the course, online course. America la irundhe neenga India la irundhe America la inda degree vaangalam, in the course certificate vaangalam. So we are planning with Kumaraguru College to see that you will sit in Coimbatore in KCT and not on Teams. We will do it in Zoom. It's much convenient. So we will try to offer this course to KCT students sitting there. So you will reduce the cost of your education. So I think Professor Saravanan will be able to talk to you more in that. So there are a lot of opportunities there. Why we should study technical textiles? We only have 40 minutes left. I have to finish in 45 minutes. So why we have to study technical textile? Yarka theriyuma?
So sir, professor is asking what is the reason for studying, knowing about technical textiles? Any answers? Or why you need technical textiles? So answers from students.
Professor Saravanan, I praised you. Unga kaadala vindhathu illaya? Why? Because it is a growth area. Yen growth area. Why is it called growth area? Because it is use and throw. When you are using and throwing after single use, undergarments are ennada knitted garments are used panni undergarment pannalum, nobody will throw away their undergarment after one wear. Oru tharam potukittu yarana baniyan ella thooki potroma poda maatom. We will keep on using it. Whereas this wipe, no way you can reuse it. So consumption is more. When consumption is more, industry production will increase.
Yes.
That is the reason.
Yeah. Okay.
That is the reason Government of India is keeping this sector as a thrust area.
Sir, we have a student, sir. I think she wants to express. Yeah.
So compared to knitted non-wovens, technical
Knitting
fabrics,
is not a non-woven. Knitting is separate non-woven.
Yes, sir. Compared to knitted fabrics, technical
Tamil
fabrics
theriyuma,
have
Tamil
higher
Tamil
functional
therinja Tamil
performance,
pesu.
sir.
Ainamma? What did you
Sir,
say?
technical fabrics have more functional performance compared to knitted fabrics, sir. So we used technical fabrics. Go to
but
technical
adukku kekkala,
fabrics.
but what is the advantage of technical? One point technical ah sollitinga. So
Sir,
when
it
the
has
industry,
more functional performance productions kaga use பண்றோம். So technical fabrics க்கு போறோம் sir.
இல்லப்பா correct, functional இருக்கு correct. ரெண்டாவது, it is a single use. When it is single use, you need more of those samples, more of the fabric. So when you need more of the fabric, you have to have more production. When you need more production, opportunities for job are more. Yeah, then you may ask why this industry has not flourished in India. The machinery is not there in India. You have to import. அங்கதான் பிரச்சனை. Initial investment is expense. Whereas knitting and weaving is still not strong in India. You have to import. Rooty and Maridan, you have to import. But spinning, we are very strong in spinning and spinning machinery. The only bottleneck so far is the availability of machine, domestically made machine, domestically made non-wovens of good quality kadave kadayadu India la. Adhan prachana. So when you are trying to import this kind of technology, it's expensive. So that initial investment is only the bottleneck. What is that? அதுக்கு தான் government has come up with a big program. What is it called? தெரியுமா? They invest lot of money in R&D, in marketing, help with technical know-how. அது called Technical Mission on Technical Textiles in பேரு, TMTT. So technical textile, even at the level of Prime Minister Modi, wherever he talks about textile, he will invariably talk about technical textile. So it is a very emerging area. Okay, va? இதுக்கு testing, we have to do lot of testing. We have to come up with standard. And those are the things AATCC does. What is that?
Yes,
Did
yes.
I make it
Yeah.
clear? Okay, va? மேல போலாமா?
Yes, sir.
Okay, this is what I showed you. So, and what, see this, there are two types of wipe. This wipe, don't tell it is spunlace into the brand name and the technology pair water entanglement. Idu vandu wet wipe, wet. Yeah, and when it comes to wet wipe, it has to have some chemical formulation. Do you know what is the chemical normally it is used in these wipes? தெரியுமா என்ன chemical? 95% isopropyl alcohol, and remaining it will have some water, it will have some wetting agent, it will have some other ingredients, but predominantly they take this. What is the material spunlace is made of? Ipa sonnene ennadhu adu? Somebody can shout. What is it made of? இப்படி படிச்சீங்கன்னா நோட்ஸே நீங்க படிக்க வேண்டாம்.
So they were answering viscose, sir.
இன்னும் not only viscose, it's a blend of viscose and polyester, because
Polyester,
viscose doesn't 30% polyester, 70% viscose. Viscose, why viscose? Why viscose?
Why viscose? Absorbency is high, sir.
Very good. யார் சொன்னா? Congrats. Absorbency. Then
Most
why
of
do
our
you need to?
students, yeah.
Okay, good. So you have been teaching them well. Then why do you need to have polyester? To increase strength. Viscose doesn't have strength. Viscose has high
Polyester
absorbency.
the answer is for strength.
Very good. Viscose is for absorbency and elasticity, polyester for strength. Then they just soak this in isopropyl alcohol solution. What is that? Isopropyl alcohol plus wetting agent plus emulsifier போட்டு they get it. So it is predominantly isopropyl alcohol or ethyl alcohol. Okay, va? And then they might have dimethyl ammonium chloride and diethyl ammonium chloride. All these are basically small percentage. Mostly it is alcohol based. There again problem. So doctors and others, nurses do not want alcohol based. So more interest is emerging on using herbal based, but it's very expensive. Okay. So hygiene product எடுத்தாலே the fast moving, adala rendu type இருக்கு. Fast moving goods and slow moving goods தெரியும். FMG. FMG na fast moving goods. Fast moving goods means the consumption will be more. Use and throw, use and throw, use and throw. So hygiene. And then this one, what is this? This is where cotton is not able to find application. It's a polypropylene based surgical gown. That surgical gown, எந்த technology தெரியுமா? எடுத்துறீங்களா சார் இத? Have you taken this for them?
Yes, sir. They have studied, sir, already. So they are able to say like this is a surgical gown. And yes, even they say like SMS fabrics.
SMS na என்ன? Spun-born,
Yes,
melt-blown,
spun-born,
spun-born.
melt-blown,
So
spun-born. Yes, yes.
what is the material, raw material?
Polypropylene.
Very good. So now there are 3 types of hygiene. First one is wipe. In wipe there are 2 categories, wet wipe and dry wipe. Then surgical gown, 100% polypropylene made out of spun-born, melt-blown, spun-born, and you can increase the number of melt-blown. What is the purpose of melt-blown? What is the purpose of spun-born? Melt-blown is for filtering. Spun-born is for strength. So you have to filter these microbes, or you have to serve as a barrier to these microbes. So you are using melt-blown. Whereas melt-blown has no strength. That is the reason, like you are adding polyester to a wipe made of viscose, you are putting one melt-blown layer, which is a filter layer, in between 2 spun-born. புரியுதா? ஸ்ட்ரென்த்துக்காக தான் spun-born. Okay? Face masks. And this is our invention. So during COVID, what is the materials face masks are made of? 100% polypropylene. If it is 100% polypropylene, you can't wear near the skin for a longer time. Why? Why polypropylene cannot be worn near skin for a long time? தெரியுமா? Polypropylene oda property என்னன்னா, it is
breathability and sweating issue நாலயா sir?
It is hydrophobic. So you don't see the comfort, breathability. Somebody told that. Good. So you are not able to feel the comfort. So what we did was, whereas you need polypropylene melt blown to give the filtration, to give the barrier property, comfort da irukad. So to do that, what we did, we took a cotton fabric and made it into a mask, and then we created a slit in between 2 polypropylene layers and inserted, we created a cotton made into a face mask and created a slit, and in that slit we insert 100% melt blown. So instead of having spun-born, we have cotton layers next to skin cotton layers, which is more or less similar to your undergarment, and then the barrier functional property is obtained by the polypropylene melt blown. In the technology, we named it called Pfizer. Car ஓட்ட தெரியும் இல்லையா? கார் ஓட்டினா அந்த கார் விஷன் to protect us from sun. What do you keep that one? அந்த பேட் மாதிரி இருக்கு, அதுக்கு பேர் என்ன? அதுக்கு பேர் visor. The pad that protects your eyes from sunshine is known as visor. VISOR. அதே மாதிரி, since it is protecting the face, we call this as Pfizer. இந்த பாருங்க, இப்படிதான் இருக்கும். So the filter layer is, are you able to see the picture? You can see the right hand side. If you see that, you are having 100% cotton fabric. Then there is a slit, and the slit we are inserting the non-woven layer. புரியுதா? And then you can use the cotton fabric for multiple times, but then remove the non-woven, throw it away, and then use a new one after every day. In the face mask technology, we named it as Pfizer, similar to visor. So in dictionary also we created a new term, Pfizer, the technology which gives not only barrier protection, filter property மட்டும் இல்ல, it also gives comfort. So this is known as Pfizer. இதுதான் concept. இதுதான் patent. This is done by one of my PhD student. புரியுதா? So the cotton fabric can be used multiple times and then thrown away, whereas the insert inside is melt blown or even spun bond or spun bond melt blown face mask. You insert it. So it gives comfort, and medical practitioners and nurses are able to use it for multiple times. Now, how do you test this? To test this size of the virus, என்ன தெரியுமா? What is the size of virus? The size of virus is roughly 300 nanometers. So you have to generate virus. You can't generate virus in the lab. You have to use simulant. அதுக்கு we are using sodium chloride and then create aerosol particles. And the sodium chloride water pump பண்ணி aerosol mixture create பண்ணும். And that becomes 300 nanometer fine particles. Very few labs in the world have this instrumentation. Very expensive instrumentation. In America, 2 academic labs. One is Texas Tech, another is North Carolina State University. They both have. I don't think Citra has this kind of sophisticated instrument. Anyway, அதுதான் ஒரு advantage. So the difference between the Indian universities and American universities is a single professor lab can have all these sophisticated instruments. So far, so what it generates these simulant virus particles of 300 nanometers or less, and then it counts how many 300 nanoparticles went inside the fabric filter and how many came out. So you can see on the left hand side there is a cone like thing where you put this face mask material and then pump this aerosol from the bottom. And then you cut, those are the small things, box mari irukku illaya, those are all particle counters. So one particle counter counts the number of particles that is flowing through the filter, and then the other one calculates the number of fine particles that is coming out of the filter. So the number of particles namakku out of the filter should be less than the number of particles that are pumped in. So the ratio between these two will give filtration efficiency. Okay, well, so we proved that this Pfizer technology will be able to give protection. The product முடிச்சிட்டேன். So your professor gave me a challenge because his class I have to talk about cotton and then non-woven, cotton and woven, and develop into technical textiles. So the first product I showed you was 100% cotton non-woven for environmental protection. In the second Pfizer technology, I showed you cotton blend with spun bond, melt blown spun bond material to develop face mask. What is the application of the oil sorbent? What is the application of face mask? The application for oil sorbent is environmental protection because you are trying to clean up the oil spill. Whereas face mask is life-saving. So, rendu product. Now, how do you develop? How do you develop new products? What is the mantra? First, you should sense what is the need. Then you have to model and forecast. That's project report. That's shape. Then sustain and then shield. A simple chart I will show you. Areas where an entrepreneur can come. A Tirupur knitting entrepreneur, how can he diversify into a technical textile product? Defense textile, protective textile. If you take protective textile, it is categorized into 3 main areas: defense, medical, and consumer. Defense in ballistic protection, nuclear protection, thermal protection. Consumer in the mari wipes alla. Medical face mask, drapes, medical gowns, head cap, shoe covers, etc. In the 3 defense is the one that has huge margin because government procures it, but the scope for lot of players is limited. Or 4-5 player da idhula vara mudiyum defense la. Whereas in terms of medical and consumer, there are opportunities for multiple players, whereas the margin is very less. And see, I showed you all our inventions from the lab. First product is this. Sonena, rendavathu and the Pfizer. Third product is we have come up with a non-woven based chemical protective wipe. In the chemical, sarin, soman, mustard, nerve agent. So we are developing and we have developed products that will protect a soldier from any toxic gas, lethal toxic gas like fentanyl, opioid, drugs. This wipe and this layer, these are all high end. I doubt your syllabus would cover, but these are the areas where there are a lot of research can be done. If somebody is interested in research or they want to work with in India, what is the agency that does this kind of work? Defense Research Development Organization, DRDO, and they also sponsor students for summer internship. One Kanpurla irukku or lab, இன்னொரு lab Bangalore irukku. Whoever is interested, they can apply for paid research internship. மாசமே 20,000 30,000 கொடுப்பான் internship. So these are all. So இத மாதிரி protective textile, higher end protective textiles to protect soldiers from bullets. அதுக்கு பேரு ballistic protective or anti-ballistic னு சொல்றோம். Another second set வந்து chemical, biological and nuclear. அதுலயும் we came up with an invention. இதுதான் என்னோட invention. Google Ramkumar and fiber tech னு போட்டா வரும். இதுதான். Now it has become a global standard. Same needle punching, but I have to protect soldiers from toxic gas. Again, so I took one non-woven layer and then intermediary, I put an activated carbon and the bread sandwich mari. Bread sandwich la enna pandrel mela oru bread slice, கீழே ஒரு bread slice, நடுவுல சீஸ், டொமேட்டோ, அவகாடோ என்ன வேணா வைக்கிறேன்னு. அந்த பிரெட்டுக்கு டேஸ்ட் கொடுக்கறது அந்த நடுவுல இருக்கக்கூடிய மெட்டீரியல் தான், சீஸோ என்னமோ. அதே மாதிரி I used this sandwich technique, so I took two non-woven, polyester non-woven on the top, polyester non-woven on the bottom. Then if you have to absorb the vapor, you need to have activated carbon. The cigarette பிடிக்கிற ஒரு காலத்துல ஆஸ்ட்ரே எல்லாம் இருக்கும் இல்லையா, அந்த கார்பன் துகள் அதுதான். So I took an activated carbon and sandwiched that between two polyester non-woven, or depending upon the application, you can also take cotton. Third product solvent. This is for chemical warfare protective wipe. முதல்ல பார்த்தது environmental wipe. ரெண்டாவது பார்த்தது hygiene wipe. Now we are talking defense wipe. So this is my invention and it is commercial. இதுதான் needle punching. I'll show you how it works. So this is how it works. You have a carbon, activated carbon layer nadula, L2. And then you have non-woven layer on the top, non-woven layer on the bottom. Then you use set of needles like this. Set of needles. You are seeing the picture now. Set of. So one set of needle will punch from top to bottom. Another set of needle will punch from bottom to top, and it will sandwich without any chemical. So this is again you can see the black layer, which is nothing but activated carbon, carbon podi, tool. But tool na tool illa, it is made from a knitted fabric. You activate that, steam activate that knitted fabric, and then made from polyester or polyacrylonitrile, edu vena pannalam depending on the cost, and then make it as an activated carbon and sandwich between either two cotton layer or two polyester layer and needle punch. In the product again, see, this is what it is. Top needle punch, activated carbon in the middle, bottom needle punch. Panna, the top layer will wipe away the liquid. Polyester and cotton blend and the liquid wipe agum. And then when that liquid transforms into a vapor, the middle activated carbon will be able to hold the vapor. இதான். So Saravanan சொன்னார் காட்டனை யூஸ் பண்ணணும். ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஒரு காட்டன் ப்ராடக்ட் 100% காட்டன் ப்ராடக்ட். ரெண்டாவது செல்லுலோஸ், விஸ்கோஸும் செல்லுலோஸ் தானே, விஸ்கோஸ் with polyester blend hygiene. This is cotton high-tech wipe. And we were the first one to develop this. And this is the recognized technique all over the world. எல்லாமே needle punching வச்சு தான் பண்றேன் பாருங்க. So I'm just using one manufacturing process, but developing multiple products. Step by step, I am improving its value. புரியுதா? So in the product, always we name a name. The face mask what we developed is known as Pfizer, whereas this product is known as Fiber Tect. One word, fiber that protects. So it is known as Fiber Tect. It is flexible. Enga toxic spill irundhalum, it will be able to wipe away. புரியுதா? Third, if I could add nanoparticles, another enna sonne nanofiber. If I could add nanoparticles into a cotton fabric and put it in water effluent treatment, inga titanium dioxide nanoparticle cotton layer liyo polyester layer liyo embed panni panna, in the presence of sunlight, that titanium dioxide acts as a catalyst, and then it is able to cleave the dye molecule. Dye molecule எடுத்தான rhodamin A, rhodamin B இதெல்லாம் இருக்கு இல்லையா? So the titanium dioxide serves as a catalyst, but the titanium dioxide is photocatalytic. அதுன்னா அதுக்கு ஒரு வெளிச்சம் வேணும். So we are using, most of the effluent plants are in sun rays இருக்கும். ஏன்னா எல்லாம் திருப்பூர், வியட்நாம், தாய்லாந்துல தானே இருக்கு. So heavy sun. So you just put this in the effluent, and when the sun rays hit this titanium dioxide embedded material, titanium dioxide catalyzes, and then it gives free oxygen. That free oxygen goes and interacts with the dye, and it breaks down the dye. So the carcinogen effect, the cancer causing effect of the dye gets lost. This is இன்னொரு technology. Nanofiber titanium based compound. இங்கே என்ன பண்றோம்? nanofiber யூஸ் பண்றோம், nanometal யூஸ் பண்றதுனால high surface area. Fourth product I have shown. And you can see this is rhodamin, red color. Rhodamin is red dye. Then when you put this titanium dioxide material, slowly the red dye breaks down into small particles, and those small particles are not toxic, whereas when they are put together they become toxic. And the titanium dioxide action onto the rhodamin பார்க்கறச்சே color change ஆகும். So the red caustic effect is shown as the red color. அதனால தான் the rhodamin red in the dye வருது. I am showing one dye. And the color red ல இருக்கும். But once these catalytic particles hit the dye gets disintegrated at molecular level. பொடி பொடின்னு சொல்ல முடியாது. Molecular level chemistry breakdown ஆகும். When it breaks down, within 12 hours, you can see the toxicity effect goes down. And perfect 50 நாள்ல it will be clear. The pollution will go away. இது functionalized particle, nanofiber particle. And we develop all these. And one advantage in America is even high school students do research. நம்ம ஊர்ல பிடெக்ல ப்ராஜெக்ட் பண்றோம், அதுதான் ஸ்டார்ட் பண்றோம். But in United States, high school students engage with university professors during summer or during weekends and start doing research. And we tend to encourage high school students, undergrad students, graduate students to do short-term and long-term projects. So this is, so like this, now I had shown you result on cotton fiber. அதையே எடுத்துட்டு can we build a fabric out of it, non-woven fabric out of it? Yes, you can build a non-woven fabric out of it. இதே result தான், 1:30, 1:40. See, you simply take this cotton, இது என்ன? இது ஒரு mini card it, and then just needle punch it and develop bat. இது மாதிரி வரும். And then even in the raw material loose form இருந்தாலும் சரி, needle punch அதே technique தான் நான் காமிச்சேனே. You can show again, low microner, see 50 times. This is 45 times. Again, the same results you are getting. So 1 gram, one girl student asked this question, how much it absorbs? 1 gram of low microner cotton absorbs 50 grams of this oil. If it is crude oil, because it is more viscous, the absorption rate may come down. புரியுதா? இப்ப நான் காமிச்சேனே அந்த நானோ மெட்டீரியல் அதான் இது. You now know how to make melt blown. இதுதான் melt blown fiber. The polymer come through these nodules. Hole இருக்கு இல்லையா? These are all micron size hole, 2 micron, 1 micron. And the hole வழியா these fibers come and then they condense and then they make the filament. இதுதான் நான் காமிச்சேன் இந்த spun bondல. This is also one project we did. And so what is the outcome? Exactly, I will not hold you beyond 10 o'clock. I guess it is 11 o'clock, right? 9 to 11. It's about 11. We still have, we will give room for some question. Raw unprocessed. இதுல எந்த chemical processing இல்ல. Just 100% cotton is an oil absorption. Cotton non-woven can be used as a technical textile. And nanofiber materials using melt blown can be used to develop so many products. அது ஒன்னு காமிச்சது and the dye cleaning effluent. So, what is the future of textile? Of course, knitting, apparel, இல்லன்னு சொல்லல. But the future lies in sustainable product development. Future lies in technical textile product development. As long as the technical textile product can help to protect environment and save human life. So all this work, what I have reported 2 hours, are based on my students' PhD research work in my lab. Many students. And they were the one who helped me to make the slides. And I'm very thankful to all of them. And I'm very thankful to the students for the patience. 2 hours என்னாலே உட்கார முடியாது. இப்ப மணி எனக்கு ராத்திரி 12:30 விடிகாலம். But I'm very grateful to Professor Saravanan. Very enthusiastic, and you are lucky. KCT is lucky to have him. And before I go, I still have time. You can ask me question, but I would strongly encourage you to become members of AATCC. Even though you are finishing your school, it will be very valuable. Scholarship கிடைக்கும், research grants கிடைக்கலாம். Then you can ask people from Adidas, Nike, and other thing to come. So those who have not become member of AATCC, I encourage them to become AATCC member. And Professor Saravanan and Suganya, I think those are the coordinators. Also encourage your friends in fashion technology, chemistry, mechanical engineering, and all those people to join. Okay, Professor Saravanan, thank you again. And if there are any questions, I'll be happy to answer them. நான் சொன்னது புரிஞ்சது இல்லையா?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, few minutes left, 2 minutes left. You can ask any question if you have.
So any questions you have, anything you want to ask? Probably, I think last 2 hours you have been listening to cotton, right? And particularly when the Nonwovens, how it is transforming. As an observant, right? Observant medium. You could see that oil, right? Water, separating the right textile.
And before I go, I noticed Professor Pavendan is there. Thank you, Professor Pavendan, for your support as well. You can see I'm drowsing already 12:30 for me. But Professor Pavendan was my senior in AC Tech. So I should tell that he has been my senior and the person whom I used to look towards. So I'm glad he's also there. So
Thank you so much, Dr. Ramkumar. It was wonderful. I was listening the entire conversation and very inspirational. Cotton to the sea, cotton to the face, and cotton everywhere. I think it's very effective way of letting our students know innovation can be effectively tried by looking at problems. It was very engaging. I'm sure looking at our students' faces there, I think they're
Because
quite
I kept
satisfied.
them normally I know I am a professor, but here people are grown up. That's a different story.
Yeah.
When I was a student like you, 1 hour மேல உட்கார முடியாது. But all these
Correct.
people, I don't know why they are sitting, but they sat. So that's good thing. So I should thank them.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Taking efforts. I know we tried hard to get this class despite your busy schedule. Also, the timing, which is probably not very convenient to you, late in the night. So it's a good effort from everyone. From my end also, thank my professor, Dr. Saravanan, who was very
Yes,
keen on
Saravanan
this
need to be thanked. He is the one
Yes, yes.
who I think he is very enthusiastic. Let me put it,
Yes,
very
yes.
eager, very motivated, very
Yes.
good.
I'm seeing the
See,
students
people are clapping
for
him.
it.
Oh, they didn't clap
Yeah.
for me. They didn't clap
Yes.
for me.
Good to see. Good to see. Thank you,
Photos
Dr.
எடுத்திருக்கீங்க
Ramkumar.
இல்லையா இந்த ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் சரவணன் போட்டோ எல்லாம் எடுத்து எழுதணும்
We will
Yes,
send you.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, yes. Taken, sir. Taken.
அனுப்பிச்சு வைங்க.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
தேங்க்யூ போலாமா நான் போட்டோமா தூங்கட்டுமா
Yes.
ஓகே பாய் ஜாயின் AATCC என்கரேஜ் சரவணன் என்கரேஜ் them to join AATCC என்னப்பா
sir,
கேள்வி
definitely,
கேட்கணுமா
I mean, feedback from student. A doubt, yeah.
Sir, have two doubt. One is Capac fiber have a more absorbency level than cotton, sir. இப்ப நம்ம cotton use
இருக்கு
பண்ணா
பட் கேப்பாக்கு எக்ஸ்பென்சிவ் ஆச்சேப்பா அங்கதான
Capac
ப்ராப்ளம்
expensive.
ஆமா கேப்பாக்கு எக்ஸ்பென்சிவ் அவைலபிலிட்டியும் லெஸ் இந்தியால தானே இருக்கு இங்கெல்லாம் இல்ல see there are
Okay.
lot of technically many things will work out but commercial feasibilityயும் பார்க்கணுமோ
Okay, sir.
that is
Sir, and another doubt வந்து நீங்க cotton அந்த பலூன் மாதிரி ஸ்பில் ஆகுனது. அது இப்ப நம்ம காட்டன்ல பாத்தீங்கன்னா ஸ்ட்ரக்சர்ல லியூமன்ல மட்டும் தான் ஸ்டோர் பண்ண முடியும் வாட்டர்.
அதேதான் லூமன்ல தான் ஸ்டோர் ஆகும் லூமன் ஒரு க்ரூசிபிள் மாதிரி தானே
எஸ் சார் அந்த இப்ப இன் பிட்வீன் தி காட்டன்ல ஒரு ஆயிலோ இல்ல வாட்டரோ
ஃபிலிம்
absorb
ஃபார்ம்
ஆச்சுன்னா
ஆகும் ஃபிலிம்
அது
அது
அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்டபிளா
கொஞ்சம்
இருந்தது
ஸ்லிப்
பட்
ஆகலாம் அது கொஞ்சம் ஆனா அங்க சர்ஃபேஸ் ஃபோர்சஸ் வில் ஹோல்ட்
ஓகே
ஏன் இது ஹோல்ட் ஆகுது தட்ஸ் a good question why it is being held ஏன்னா இது மெக்கானிக்கலி கிளீன்டு காட்டன் there is no bleach அதனால அந்த வேக்ஸ் அப்படியே இன்டாக்டா இருக்கும் வேக்ஸும் ஆயிலும் எக்ஸ்சேஞ்ச் ஆகும் வேக்ஸும் ஆயிலும் இன்டராக்ட் ஆகும் வேற ப்ளீச்டு காட்டன் முடியாது வேக்ஸை நாக் அவுட் பண்ணிடுறோம் வேக்கை நாக் அவுட் பண்ணிட்டோம்னா there is no attractive moieties you see this is
Okay.
both wax and oil attract each other polar groups whereas if you bleach the cotton the wax goes away and the polar groups போயிடும் புரியுதா
I think probably students would have listened very
Question
I mean, very
கேட்டிருக்காங்க, that is
demonstrative
good.
lecture.
ஆமா
And
அது
many,
okay
I think,
but I am glad that students ask question that's good very good
Yes, thank you, sir. Thank you. Usually the students will be more engaging. I think most of your explanations and all the sessions contents are more self-explanatory also. And your, I mean, additions to the all the things, I think it gives more clarity for the students. I
நானே
think,
என்
that's
முதுகுல
why
தட்டிக்கிறேன்
it is.
என்ன okay I
Yes, sir.
pat
So thank you
myself
once again, sir. I think at this juncture, I should thank our Kumaraguru Global Engagement Office KGO. I think with that support, we have been able to continuously have interaction with Professor Ramkumar, sir. So we have many deliberations and discussions in the last couple of months. I think it's again on behalf of our management and our textile department as a cluster, textile cluster, and I think all our students. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Professor Ramkumar, sir, for your session. I think it's very interesting and eye-opening for all the students and faculty members also, because Professor Suganya Devi also was attending the session, and she also had some of the questions. I think that were even asked by our students.
on observancy, what is the a percentage of oil taken by the fiber, all those things. I think it's really a very wonderful session. I think students would have understood like what is the critical role of the fabric, particularly nonwovens, and not only like the wovens and knitters have the role, the nonwovens are emerging. So that is what I think this session is more emphasizing. And I think again types of nonwovens, you could be able to understand that the very thick nonwovens, which I think you would have studied in different courses, the needle punch nonwovens. It is more on thicker nonwovens, and again that can be more an observant pad. So that is what I think you could have observed it. And of course, other even the commodity fibers, right? Viscose, polyester, everything has the role to play in form of technical textile applications and the non-woven fabric formation. So those things have been very well elaborately explained by our session resource person. So thank you, sir. I think thanks once again for all the briefing. Very pleasure to have had you for the last 2 hours. I think one more thing, probably you all should take it as an inspiration from Professor Ramkumar sir, because I think now the time will be, it is Thursday early morning, 12:30, right? So that is what I think you should often know. His dedication and his tireless efforts for the students, right, community. I think you should all thank by your applause.
But try to join AATCC. That is
Thank you,
important.
sir. Thank you. Thank you so much for your session, sir. It's always a pleasure.
And thanks to student, 2 hours you sat patiently, right?
Sure.
So
Sir.
thank you.
Yes.
And thanks, Dr. Saravanan, for your cooperation.
Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Sir, thank you, sir. Dean, sir.
Thank you. My mic is muted. Thank you.